Well, right over here is the all-new for '85 Toyota Cressida. Now, anytime a car maker comes out with a new model, it's only natural to compare it to other cars in its class, those with a similar purpose and features. But the Cressida presents a problem. It doesn't fit into any one mold. In some ways, you'd swear it was an American luxury car since it pampers its passengers and has all the latest gadgets. But it also has some of the crisp handling and feel of a Continental sports sedan. And even that doesn't begin to describe the dilemma. Just for openers, the Toyota Cressida has gone through a major change, but it hasn't lost all of its predecessors, Detroit by way of Tokyo sedan image. The drivetrain is still front engine, rear drive. The sheet metal is long and lean, but they've kept it rather angular and ultra conservative. The grille is upright and chrome with an egg crate texture. But get a load of those flush-mounted headlights. You don't even see those in a lot of European imports. And what's a pure luxury car doing with such an aggressive air dam? And as you head towards the rear, you come upon wide, aggressive tread 60 Series performance tires and suspension parts borrowed from Toyota's terrific Supra. More contrast. The passenger compartment is very tall and again angular, but all the side glass is flush-mounted for excellent aerodynamics. Then at the rear, have you ever seen a more usual taillight treatment? Inside, things aren't any clearer either, but at least they are entertaining. The dash is wide, with most controls reasonably placed, and you get help for those that aren't. For instance, usually on sports sedans, the traditional spot for the stereo and climate controls is down by the shifter. It's very inconvenient. The Cressidas are down there too, but the driver can make primary adjustments to air conditioning and sound with this mini control pod, and it's placed so your hands don't have to stray too far from the steering wheel. The dash also has all the digital effects that any luxury car buyer could ask for, including a trip computer that even remembers birthdays. Standard gauges on the Cressida are analog, but this digital package is an option. It includes a bar graph tachometer. Uniquely Japanese touches cannot be overlooked either. The 4-speed transmission has Toyota's ECT feature that varies shift points for normal or power modes. More useful is a lockout button that can take the overdrive gear out of the system when you don't need it. Our inability to classify the Cressida then even extends to the seats. With the optional leather upgrade, they have more comfort adjustments than most so-called enthusiast seats, but they're as cushy as a limo's. Our only complaint was poor shoulder blade contact. But even with a big increase in overall interior room, the Cressida still only has the interior rating of a compact. At least the rear seat is now much more civilized and also offers excellent body support. And then there's the trunk. Also much larger than before, but just to keep you guessing, it has an archaically high sill. There was one thing, though, that we hated on the inside of the Cressida, the automatic shoulder harness. It's uncomfortable overkill at its worst. But our confusion about the character of the Cressida begins to clear up when we look under the hood. No mundane four-cylinder here. You get the Supra's straight six, complete with electronic fuel injection and double overhead cams. That makes 156 horsepower and 165 pounds of torque for excellent straight-line performance. Put the transmission in its power mode and crisp shifts result in a none too shabby 0 to 60 time of 10.5 seconds. Passing from 40 to 55 takes a scant 3.8 seconds, with a quarter mile passed in 17.1 seconds at 80 miles per hour. Want to try the brakes? Go ahead, mash them. We did and got nothing but straight, secure halts, and it's no wonder. The Cressida has four-wheel disc brakes, and distances of 119 feet are good on any car, especially a 3,270-pound sedan. Could the Cressida then be that rare breed, a super luxurious sports sedan that can really live up to its promise? Well, just when we began to think so, we tried the Cressida in corners. Here, the sports moniker faded a lot as the soft springs produced loads of plow. As the curves continued, it felt like all the car's bulk was being shifted over the front wheels. The tail got very light and responsiveness grew numb. But wait a minute, we have to be fair, and our Cressida isn't the whole handling story. On Cressidas with 5-speed manuals, you also get variable shock damping that gives you just the right firmness for those spirited transits. So by now, it's clear that the Toyota Cressida is a different sort of car, And that's before we get to its extremely quiet highway ride, only 65 decibels at 55, or its respectable fuel economy of 19 city and 24 highway. We beat that without trying, getting 25 on our 100-mile economy loop. And finally, there's its 36-foot turning circle. A front-wheel drive car with a long 104.5-inch wheelbase would find that hard to match. So we've got it now. The Toyota Cressida is indeed a new class of car. Let's call it the first midlife crisis sports sedan. That's a car that, when properly equipped, will let any aging hot rodder have quite enough street performance, all wrapped up in oodles of luxury and more features than you can shake a shifter at. But as you might expect, there's one problem that could keep the Cressida out of a lot of garages: its price. It starts at a lofty $15,690. Our car's options drove it to $17,820. And the way many dealers add items such as rust-proofing, the typical Toyota Cressida will probably go out the door at closer to 19,000 smackers. That's a lot to pay for any car with the interior size of a compact, even one with all those personalities. But despite the price, the Toyota Cressida does come closer to being more things to all people than many cars that claim they do, but cost a lot more. So it's just one more example of how the Orientals can take the best of all the trends of their overseas competitors and produce a unique car class of their own.